Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's going to be a long video. We'll see. Maybe it'll be kind of like, 15 to 20 minutes around there, but it's going to be a big video. It's going to be covering a topic that I think is very important and not talked about as much as other topics are. I'm going to get into that in a second. But today we will be talking about going from a mercenary to a vassal to your own kingdom. We're also going to be talking about how to build up and manage more than one party, and also how to form good armies, right? This is going to be part one of a two-part series. In the second part, we will be talking about getting fiefs, managing garrisons, getting clans, and managing an overall kingdom, right? So the idea was sparked by a comment I received on one of my videos, and I've also been seeing this topic all over the place. Like I stated before, there are a lot of videos and tutorials on how to start a kingdom, but not much about how to run a kingdom and all the stuff to do after you get to that point, right? So that's why I'm here. I'm going to try to explain, my best way that I can explain it, right? And so before we get into all this, my script is always going to be in the description below, and it's going to be on the screen right now. And yeah, so here and now on the screen again is going to be a comment that I got on one of my videos that pretty much sparked this whole concept and this two-part series, right? So here's the comment pretty much. I'd love it if you did a video on growing and managing armies. A single party is simple enough for a mercenary, but I never know what to do once I become a vassal and create secondary parties with my companions. Should I just have them follow me around in one big army, or send them off on their own? Should I give them elite troops or let them build their own armies from scratch? What about castle/city garrisons? Should I be training those troops myself, or just using them as a dumping grounds for troops I don't want in my army? So a lot of good questions, a lot of good topics, right? And I'm going to try my best to pretty much go over all of that in this two-part series, right? I don't know how long this video is going to be. That's why I kind of made it two parts. As you can see, as I showed you the script on the screen, it's a lot, right? So I will also have all the links to other tutorials that I have made and that I think would help a lot in this whole process that I'm going to go over, and all the links will be below, and I will mention them throughout the video, right? So yeah, let's just get right into it, right? So okay, let's start from the beginning, right? So let's start with becoming a mercenary. So when you first start the game, you are a clan tier 0. You are by yourself, and you start to build up your stats and eventually a party of troops. That's pretty much your goal, right? That's the goal that your brother or cousin, he gives you in the beginning of the game. Also to do this, I have a video that's going to be linked below. It focuses on 8 focus points to pretty much, do early game, to help you out early game. I think it's a quick video. I think it will help you be more focused through your playthrough pretty much, right? Now, once you get a small party together, you fight countless bandits, but you want more, right? So you decide you want to join one of the big kingdoms, right? So if we go over here, you want to join one of these guys, whatever ones it is, because, you're tired of fighting just bandits. So here's the requirements. You need clan tier 1 to join a kingdom as a mercenary. Clan tiers are calculated by renown, and you gain renown from pretty much everything. Battles, sieges, tournaments, all of that, right? Now, to become a mercenary, you have to go to any lord under the kingdom that you wish to join, and you pretty much swear your sword for dinars. And this means that they will pay you for each fight you do, but they will take your influence. So the influence you gain is going to be taken, but you're going to receive dinars back. And before you do this, just make sure you do not attack any other kingdom lords or get in trouble with any other kingdoms by raiding villages or attacking villagers. Because guess what? Let's say you try to join the Khazaits and you attacked the Azerai before. If the Khazaits and Azerai are neutral, the Khazaits will not accept you because you attacked somebody they're neutral with. So make sure you're not too hostile early on, because that's going to ruin a lot of, things you can do in the game. You can always propose peace, but that costs a lot. And so if you don't want to waste a lot of dinars early on when you really don't have it, just don't be too hostile, right? Now, so now let's move on. So you just became a mercenary. You're fighting for your favorite kingdom. You're joining their wars and armies, but you want more. You want some land. This is the time where you can transition and upgrade yourself in the kingdom that you joined, or another kingdom, right? So once you reach clan tier 2, you can go from a mercenary to a vassal of the kingdom you're in, or you can leave your current kingdom and join another one as a vassal. And also, you do not need to be a mercenary to be a vassal. It's not like, you know, upgraded within, you start mercenary then vassal. You can just become a vassal once you reach clan tier 2, and you can skip the whole mercenary phase if you really want to, right? There's also no reputation loss or anything like that when you leave as a mercenary. There is one if you leave as a vassal, but if you're a mercenary and you leave a kingdom, there is no reputation loss whatsoever to you. And they won't be mad. The kingdom that you leave will not be mad if you leave as a mercenary, since you were just for hire, pretty much, you know, for dinars, right? Now, to become a vassal, you need to go to the ruler of the kingdom that you wish to join. Not just a random lord, the ruler. How do you find the ruler? Press the key N. It brings you to your encyclopedia. And I'm going to show you right now, actually on the screen. Press the key N. Get to the encyclopedia. Go to the kingdom. Pick the kingdom that you want to join. There's the leader. Click on his name. That's where he was last seen. Go find him. Or what you can do is, if you see one of the friendly lords, like one of these guys that are under him, you can say, hey, I want to become a vassal, and they're going to tell you exactly where he is at that point. It's more accurate than this calculation that's up here, right? Now, once you go talk to the ruler, you have to swear your allegiance, and then once you join, you will be under the kingdom, right? So you will pretty much have this screen open to you. You're going to have a lot of clans that are also part of that same kingdom. You'll be able to vote on decisions and policies, and you can also propose them as well as a vassal. You can join armies, and you can also create armies as a vassal. It does cost influence. And yeah, you pretty much have a say. But also, most importantly, you can get fiefs. And what are fiefs? They're castles and towns. And what do they provide? Income. You can get a garrison there. It's land, right? It's more important than just getting paid for your work like a mercenary. It's like the next step up. So I also have a video on how to gain fiefs as a vassal. It will be linked below. So go check that out if you need help with that. But it's kind of straightforward. You get into a couple sieges, and eventually they'll vote for you to get a fief, right? You might get lucky, you might get more than one, but a lot of times you only get one or two if you are a vassal, right? And one more thing, I understand that you can create parties with your companions right now as a vassal, but I would advise against it, because if you create a lot of parties as a vassal and you win a lot of fights and a lot of sieges, guess what? You're going to conquer the whole map for someone else. You're going to be a vassal, you're going to do all this work, and you're not going to get all the fiefs that you siege pretty much. So like whenever you finish a siege, even if you completely did it all by yourself, it's all up to the ruler and to the majority of clans of who they pick to rule that fief, right? And they're not going to pick you just because you were the only one who sieged it, so just be wary. Now that you have fought some big battles, joined armies, and finally received some fiefs, or fief if you are unlucky, right? You want more. You do not want to work for somebody, you want to be that somebody, you want to be a ruler. Okay, so to become a ruler and build your own kingdom, there are two main ways to do it. You can go down the main storyline, chase the lords down, ask them the questions about the big battle, then pick a side, build some banner thing, and then make your kingdom with the support of some random people. It's a choice between two people, a woman and a man, right? Or you can wait until you reach clan tier 4, leave your current kingdom, keep your settlement, and become the smallest kingdom in the lands, right? It's really your choice, right? And the second option can be done in the clan tab. I'm going to show you right here. You go to the clan tab, and where you see this leave kingdom button, you will see a create kingdom button once you reach clan tier 4 and you have one settlement under your name. So if you choose option 2 of becoming a kingdom by reaching clan tier 4, check out a video that I have. It pretty much talks about the best starting policies that you can pick. So whenever you choose the clan tier 4 option, pretty much they give you 4 free policies. And I made a video talking about my top 4 and why they are in the top 4. This also works if you do it the main storyline way, but the problem with that is you need to build up influence to propose those policies. You don't get them for free. But regardless of what you choose, you will end up making the kingdom very mad, because obviously you left and you took one of the settlements with you, and they will obviously start a war with you. So now you have a castle or two if you're lucky. You have 100 to 200 party size, and you have no idea what to do next. You know, you might have a little idea, but you got a lot on your mind, right? So let's deal with stuff let's pretty much deal with it one thing at a time, right? So first, you need to go say sorry to the other kingdom. You know, regardless of what kingdom that you leave, your small kingdom of 1 to 2 castles is never gonna compare. Even to Sturgia, trust me, even to Sturgia, they're not going to compare in size, and you will pretty much get crushed unless you propose peace. To make peace varies based on what patch you are on. You can just go up to any lord regardless of party size or army size. Choose the option, our realms should make peace. Pay and be done with it. So this works if you are any patch before 1.4.1. Now, if you are playing on patch 1.4.1 or higher, you have to do it in the Kingdom tab and pay influence and probably a daily tribute to the other kingdom. So I'm going to show you both ways, just so depending on what patch you are playing on, because I am currently also playing on patch 1.3, so I do it different than someone who would be playing on the most current beta patch, right? So here's the first one. Going to any lord and talking to them. You go, there's something I'd like to discuss. Our realm should make peace. You'd put your dinars in, and once this bar is full, you would press gift, and your realms would make peace. Now, if we were to do it the kingdom way, we would go to the kingdom section, diplomacy, and we would find the people we want to make peace with, and we would propose it. We could say yes to overrule it since everyone else doesn't want to do it. And boom, you guys have made peace. Now, it's time to make some parties and beef up your possible army size. So parties that you make have to be led by companions. Depending on the companion's skills, they will either be great at leading a party or they're going to get captured left and right? Also, you can get unlucky, you know, and your party gets captured right away. It happens. So now somebody on Reddit made a great list of all the companion types and all their starting skill levels. I'm going to link that down below. I use this list all the time when I'm trying to find things that have to do with companions. It's a very good and very thorough list. Now that you have a list, you need to know what skills do to make sense of the list and pinpoint the companions you will need, right? So I have a video that talks about what each skill does and what happens when the player or a companion has a high skill level in each category, right? So the link to that video is going to be down below. But in this video, I'm just going to talk about some basic skills and how they will help your companions and their parties, right? So a high steward skill will give a companion more party size. A high medicine skill will give companions' parties faster healing. A high leadership skill will give companions' parties more morale, which pretty much means they're going to fight better. And high tactics gives companions a bigger % chance to win battles. It gives you a simulation bonus, pretty much. So now that you went and got some companions based on the list, you found them, you got all that done, the next question is, how do I go about building them up? Do I start them with no troops and wish them the best, a small size of troops, or do I max them out, right? So once again, I created a video on this topic a couple of days ago on how to recruit a lot of troops quick, and this video does help, and it has to do with companions recruiting. So it's a quick video if you guys want to go check it out. The link will also be down below. But here it is in a nutshell. Once you have a companion, gather up about 20 plus recruits from nearby areas. It can literally be peasants or recruits, doesn't really matter. Go to your clan tab, start a party with the said companion, add the recruits to the party, and also mix in some good troops as well, right? Some of the troops from your army that you have right now, from your party that you have right now. I would say about 30% of the companion's max party size is a good starting point. It's very safe. Small looter groups will stay away from them, and it'll give them a fighting chance, right? Once the party is created, you can choose to follow them around until they recruit their max party size, or you can leave them to do it themselves. As I mentioned in the video above, pretty much that video will go a little bit more in depth about if you choose to follow them, and it will show you pretty much the process of following them and seeing how they recruit and things of that nature. So I think that's a very important video. Also, I would not suggest adding them to your army until they fill up their party size, because when they are solo, they collect more recruits per town and village, and they also won't eat up your food as you try to build them up with all the extra trips you have to do so they can recruit, right? So if you invite them to the army right away, they're only going to have 40% of their max party size, because that is pretty much what's required for them to join your army. They need to be 40% of their max party size, or they can't join any armies, right? So once they are at that threshold and you ask them to join, you're pretty much going to have to go from town to village to town to village, and they're going to slowly recruit until they're at their max. And by the time they get there to their max, they're going to run out of food. So you're going to have to go pretty much buy more food so they can take your food, and it's a very tedious process. That's why I would suggest you just wait until they are at max capacity by themselves. Now I would suggest you do this until you have max parties and max party sizes for all of your parties. You can check that in your clans tab. You go to your clans, you go under parties, and you can see how much parties you can have in total and how much each one has. And once all of them are maxed out, I would suggest calling them to your army. How do you call them to your army? You go to your kingdom tab, you go to armies, create army, you find them in this list, and for you, it shouldn't be this long of a list. It should literally just have your companions, because you don't have any other clans under you as of this point. Now, this will cost money. So pretty much the whole process of companions gathering troops and being on the run by themselves, you know, running around the map, those wage costs are going to come to you as the ruler. So just be aware. Hopefully you saved up some money. If you have not, I also got you covered. I have 3 video links down below to pretty much how to make money in Bannerlord if you don't know already. I have a pretty much an updated version on workshops as of 1.4.1. I have an updated version of caravans as of 1.4.1, and I also have a method I call the Adele method. I'm not going to explain it too far, but it's a pretty simple concept, and yeah, all those links will be down below if you need help when it comes to making money in the game. Now, be prepared before you set up an army. Make sure you have a ton of food. What I would suggest you do is, if you go to my inventory right now, you buy a lot of stumper horses and a lot of mules. Why, you say? Because stumper horses and mules give you 100 to your inventory capacity. They are the best pack animals that you can get, and the more of them you have in your in your inventory, the better capacity you will have. And once your capacity is up, I suggest you stock up on food until you have about 50 plus days worth. So a good way to check is you hover over here, and all the way at the bottom it says days until no food. I would suggest you get that up to 50 before you call your army, just so you don't have to worry about food. And in this game, food does not spoil, so stock up. Trust me, it does not spoil. You can keep this food in here forever, and so just stock up as much as you can, because trust me, everything else doesn't really weigh much when it comes to gear and everything else. So just stock up on as much food as you can. If you want to have better morale, especially early game, make sure you have different food choices as well. Now, since your army consists of your companion parties only, it will not cost you any influence to summon them and keeping them in the army pretty much. You will actually gain daily influence for each companion party that's in your army. And with this influence, what you can do is you can propose more policies and also save your influence, because later we're going to be talking about how to get clans to join your kingdom and things of that nature, and you need influence for that. Now that you have an army, you can you can start a fight with another kingdom. You have a pretty sizable army. I'd say about 500 to 600, depending on how much companions you have with full armies, right? And this will be it for part 1. So I hope this was helpful. Part 2 will be out very shortly. It's going to deal with pretty much, like I stated before, it's going to deal with how to manage garrisons. It's going to talk about taking fiefs, managing fiefs, getting clans, and managing an overall kingdom. And once part 2 is out, it will be linked somewhere in the description or as the top comment, depending on what I choose to do, right? But yeah, hopefully this helped. Ask me any questions, and like always, stay safe.